Good morning, Origin, and happy Friday once again. In this week's quest for odd and interesting things that only brokers would find odd or interesting, I came across a file, and there was something specific inside that file that I wanted to piece out and really give you guys some information on. So inside this file, there was a gentleman who was having a hard time qualifying for what he wanted to because he had a very large car loan that was showing up on his personal credit bureau. So I learned that we reached out to a company called the Finance Pros. And what we did is we used their services in order to flip ownership of that car from the client's personal to the client's corporation. And what that does is that allows his personal liability to be reduced. That car loan is now taken off of the credit bureau, which of course allows qualifications to increase for that client. And I thought that was a very interesting tactic that not everyone might be aware of. And that everyone should be aware of because it's a potential deal saver. So I reached out to them and I wanted to see what other type of products, of programs, of services that they can offer to us Origin crew that would be able to help us with our current and future deals. So one thing that I learned is that they have the ability to extend a term. So an existing term can be extended, in which case it'll drop the payments that reflect on the credit bureau, which again can aid in making sure that we're qualifying that client for the maximum or getting them to that exact amount of purchase price that they're looking for. The other thing that they can do is they can switch titles of the loan to a spouse or to a family member or a friend who aren't on the mortgage. So again, if we can take a car loan and we can flip it over to a spouse who's not on the mortgage, that means that we don't have to include that in the liabilities, which of course will aid in increasing our qualifying power. Another thing that I thought was interesting is that we've all come across those clients that maybe they hopped on as a co-borrower for a kid's car loan, 1, 3, 5 years ago. They're not making any of the payments, but we, of course, have to include 100% of the liabilities in the debt servicing. These guys have the ability, of course, after they've looked at the deal and confirmed a bunch of things, to take the parents back off of it, right? Which, of course, will allow the parents to not have that loan that's reporting, not have to include those numbers, and again, increase the qualifying power. One thing extra that they did point out is that they actually have the ability to refinance cars. So they can refinance a vehicle up to 140% of the black book value, as long as it's owned free and clear, and as long as it's 10 years old and under. So what they did, they gave me an example of a gentleman who was a little bit short on cash, but he did own an 8-year-old truck free and clear. He came to them, asked what they could do. They ended up refinancing that vehicle. They did it for $28,000, which is 140% of that $20,000 black book value. And the client got $28,000 to get him out of trouble. So that's not really a service that we can offer that's going to aid us in qualifying, because it's going to put debt back onto the bureau. But what it does do is maybe allows you to add another, valuable service to a client who, is in trouble. This is a great way to get them out of it. It's a great way to show value that you can add to them. And hopefully down the road, when he's referring, or down the road when he or she is purchasing, they're going to remember your great service, remember your value adds, and come back to you. So good things about the Finance Pros is that they're kind of across Canada. So they can go BC to Ontario. So if you do have clients that are crossing the provincial borders, that shouldn't be an issue. And just like us, they work with 30+ lenders, both A and subprime. So if there's stuff inside a deal that might not fit with A side, just know that they do have a sub option, and they should be able to figure something out one way or the other. So this is a potential deal saver that my guess is not all brokers use and not all brokers take advantage of or even know about, but now you guys do, right? So if you guys want any more information on this, if you want the names of the Finance Pros, contact information, email addresses, all that stuff, feel free to reach out, send me a quick email, give me a call. You know me, I always love to chat. But other than that, I hope you guys get some great value from this video. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks very much, guys. Have a great day.